Hello, today we are playing the Battle of Vittoria. It is based on a scenario written by David Brown for General de Brigade, General de Army, but today we're going to use a set of rules we've been playing for the last year called Emperor of the Battlefield. This game is based on a set of rules they wrote 20 years ago for the 7 Years' War. It is written by Ian Godwin. And so basically, it's a unique game system in the sense that instead of having a lot of figures per battalion, it's only 2 bases per battalion. It's really designed more for core level game. You might have 2 or 3 core on a side, and you can play that in an afternoon. At the moment, Keven is going to play Victor for the French. He has to defend the hill, and Mike's playing Wellington, and he's got to basically demoralize Kevin's army in order to win the game.
I'm already demoralized.
You're already demoralized. So the rules, I like the real easy scenario setup that they have for the General de Brigade setup here. And for example, here is, whoops, sorry guys. That's the actual deployment that you're going to see in a few moments. After the guys set up, I'll cut to that. Now the rules themselves are only 70 pages, but it's not even that. The rules are probably about 20-25 pages. He has his own army list in there that you can decide, you know, if you want to play a 500-point game or a 1,000-point game. But what really makes this game unique is the combat system. You choose a target. You say, okay, this guy's firing and this guy's going to support firing, which is a -1. But the fellow who's actually being shot at rolls to see if he takes a morale loss or not. And I'll show you that in just a second. So here's an example where a British rifle unit, actually a Portuguese unit, is moved up. Kevin's going to shoot with this unit. This unit is within arc, so Kevin's going to fire here. So this is going to be a 0. There'll be a -1 to the white die, which is the positive die. And then we just simply roll the dice to see what happens. So this is a 7. That becomes a 6. And that's a 5. So he passed. So that means no casualty marker on that unit. That's basically how it works, which is just a different way of doing it as opposed to just rolling 5s and 6s. So here's the battlefield. The French are deployed on the hill. That town way down there, Kevin's called
Gomeka.
Gomeka?
Pardon my pronunciation, but I think it's Gomeka.
And then down here is the other town, and it's called
Pispiana,
Okay.
I think.
I'm asking you to pronounce it because you do a better job. You've got, is it 5 brigades of roughly 4 battalions per brigade?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 5 brigades, yeah. So roughly 4 battalions each.
So you have 4 batteries and 4 brigades in line all across your front.
Yes, I do.
And you have 1 brigade in attack column as a tactical reserve.
Yes.
And you've got 2 more brigades in reserve behind even further.
To protect Victor when he runs away.
And then over on this side, Mike, you've got how many infantry brigades? On the table, 1, 2.
Too damn many.
2,
3, 4, 5. I see 6.
4, 8.
No, brigades.
Oh, brigades.
Just commanders. You got
1,
6.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And one of them is 2. Are 2 of them like 2 battalions, and everyone else?
2. There's 2.
And there's 2 there.
2.
All right. Then the other ones are all 4s. And you've got 4 batteries, of which you've got 3 of them deployed.
3 of them on table deployed.
Right. So, and in this game, the British will go first, and we'll cut back to you as soon as you guys get ready to start shooting at each other.
All right.
All right.
And
So,
it's the same shot, right?
Yes.
so which battalion's being shot at?
No, I imagine the one right in front of us.
That would be
To
1, 2.
this
One right there.
Okay, you're firing there. You get a +1 to your white die. You rolled a 6 plus 1 is 7.
6.
So you
Just
pass that one.
1, 2. This one.
that one.
6
7,
plus
2.
Okay.
And then that one.
Yeah, I guess you can.
9.
8, 1, 9, 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
that works.
All right, so that was the end. And now it's your 3R phase,
3R
Mike.
phase. General CNC moves. And he's only got a range of this.
No, he's a strategist. He has a range of like 10.
No, he said we weren't doing those.
No, you are for the CNC.
So he's exceptional.
Yeah.
Exceptional. That's the word. Exceptional. Mine's only
It's an oxymoron for the
competent,
Brits.
right?
Yours is whatever the next level
Yeah.
down is.
That's 6. These guys are all 4s. He's a 6. His guys are 4s. His commander though is an 8 or 10. I don't know what exceptional is.
So, Mike, you don't have anybody to rally?
No.
Do you want to attach any of your ADCs? You can attach them, and then you can also use one to mark where you want.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, we'll let you think. So Mike has brought an ADC down here, which means he's going to try to bring on a reserve. Actually, he'll just bring on a reserve next turn. So, Kevin, you start off with your prep fire.
Yes. I forget the factors. What's the factors against light infantry? Skirmishers. Skirmish formation.
It gives another, you're going to be a +1 to him because you're long range. It'll be another +1 because he's in
Well, I
skirmish
don't know
formation.
if I'm over 8.
You're over 8.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
There's
if
an
you fire to skirmishers,
So it is.
yeah, so it's going to be a +1
I see
against,
over 8 against that skirmish unit.
so it's a +2 to him now on his die roll.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Over
Because he's
8?
over 8 and he's skirmishing.
But I was just checking. If I shoot at the line, it's just a +1.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, because you're long range.
You want to shoot at the line?
Yeah, why not?
All right, Mr. Mike.
Well, not good.
So you get a flinch.
Yeah. What are we using for flinches? It's a flinch. Okay.
These-
I thought you had the little ones.
This one's going to fire that one, and this one's going to fire the other one. We're ganging up on that brigade.
Well, no, that's a different brigade. That's a different because the
He's,
artillery were centered.
he's firing both batteries on one unit.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not. I'm
Firing
sorry.
this one at him and this one at
Okay.
the one next to
Oh,
him.
okay. Go ahead.
So it should just be a minus
So it's a
one.
+1. It's a
So
+1 on
+1
your
to-
white die.
Yeah.
So this one.
Oh, he
Voila.
passed. Now the other one.
And this one. And they pass. No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. They
I need
failed.
another flinch.
Failed
No, I
miserably.
need a because this was prep fire.
Yes.
Yes.
This is just a flinch. And last but not least, these guys, I guess, will shoot at that guy.
Those are lights.
Which it doesn't matter. They're
They're
not
formed up.
skirmish, so they are. It's a +1 to your white die
Yep,
because of the range.
and they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
was 6-1.
Well,
Now,
you did
all a
50-50.
flinch does is the prep fire only causes a flinch marker, which is a modifier when they actually get shot at in the fire phase.
Yes.
So instead of being a +1 for long range, it'll be a -1 because they have a flinch marker. So when they get fired at again, it'll be a 0 roll. All right, so now Kevin's into the fire phase.
Yeah. We'll shoot the same targets.
That's even roll.
Even roll.
And I have an even result, so
All
I
right.
pass.
Oh, it's an even roll because of the flinch marker.
Correct.
Gotcha. All right. Well, you
Yeah.
saved him. All right. Well, it's a
+1
same
still.
shot there.
+1
Ah.
makes it even.
He's just made it, and it's an even roll on the other one.
I pass there.
And you got one more shot
And I
down
got
here on
one
the
more
end.
down.
And down there.
On the cacadors.
Is that what they are? Categories.
And they
Yep, look
pass.
at that. So the British have passed all their casualty
He
tests.
passed the right
Morale
ones.
test.
Yeah. Grant.
So General Grant has come on from reserve on the British side, and it's 3 hussars
3 elite hussars.
along with a Royal Horse Artillery battery. And we had our first casualty taken by the French from artillery fire. So things are beginning to heat up.
Yes. I'll hit anybody in the middle here. Well, he can. Okay.
So who's doing what first?
Well, this guy can hit a target. This guy, You tell me, Mike. Maybe one stand, Ken?
Well, again, this is the whole frontage.
Yeah.
So it comes down to
Those guys
who's he
can,
shooting and who are they shooting, because
well,
you have some options. You
Well,
can
I'm
either
telling you.
support his shot.
this guy can support his shot because they can't reach anybody else. They can reach this unit with one base.
Well, isn't that all that's needed?
Well, yeah.
From the center?
It's a partial.
Yeah, you got him.
You got him.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, let's see then. Let's start. But then you're an elite guy, right?
Yep.
Well, that's all right.
So where you starting at, guys?
I'm going to start there. I just, now,
You're both elite.
we're both large.
And
You're both large,
Yeah.
and you're both skirmishers firing on skirmishers.
So what's the,
That should be a net +1 to his test because he's in skirmish formation.
all right, and I'll have the same thing when he shoots back.
And then the question is it a +2 because he's being fired at by skirmishers?
That's a modifier.
That's a
Unless It's on
modifier.
the same line, I
Yep.
would say it is.
I'm pretty sure that's the way it is.
Let's see.
Well, there's not a modifier because we're both elites.
So Mike is getting ready to fire for
but I
the
am
British.
large because I'm only fired by a single unit.
Yes.
Yeah. So the 4 red markers you see are because in the very first phase of this game there's prep fire, and these units have all taken flinch markers, which is a -1 to their casualty roll, which they're about to take now.
I'm a +2,
So-
I believe, Mike. One for large, one for skirmish.
That makes sense. If it's
That makes sense.
so.
And I need it.
You did.
5-4. I
You did.
passed.
Now over here, 2 units, so your large doesn't count.
No, it does not.
Elite on elite.
That doesn't count either. And you have a friend.
Yes.
So, and I have a flinch, which
And -2.
mine-
and I'm a -2.
Well, you're in skirmish formation is a +1 to you.
Oh yeah. I
You have a
get
flinch
large.
marker, which is a 0. You're being fired on, which is the primary.
We will go with them.
That guy.
That makes a difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now you're going to be down 1 from that.
Yeah, and then he has a friend. -2.
Go ahead.
Isn't that right?
You get a +1 because you're skirmisher, and you're 0, and he's going to be firing with a friend. It should only be a one, I think.
Well, all right, -1 then.
Thank God there are not a whole lot of factors.
7,
Didn't matter anyway.
6-3, 6-2, I should say.
Okay. Now, coming down here, same thing. He's shooting at him.
And which one's firing?
Just him.
Just the elite.
Yeah. Just
So it's
the
a
elite.
-1, up 1, -1. So -1 to you,
Well,
Kevin.
he's a skirmisher
Yeah,
shooting.
that's
what I'm
a
a-
+1 elite makes it out even, and you have a flinch is -1 to you, and you're good.
5, 4, 2, 4, 1.
Okay, now here's where the artillery shoots with him in support.
So it's going to be a -2 to you, Kevin.
At
The guy with the flinch.
Yeah, because I'm close range, so that's a 0.
Okay.
-1, -2.
Even.
2-2.
Ended
I had a
being
4-2,
4-2.
-2. 2-2. It's like the ballet brigade there. They're a ballet battalion.
Okay. Him on him.
That's
Even
even
up.
up.
Even up.
Ooh, 1-3.
That's
That's a real hurt.
a ding.
I don't like these. That was this one.
Yeah, the flinch is all passed, but the ones that don't have a flinch are taking it.
That's right.
Right there. That's
Even
a-
up.
Even up.
In
They
the
roll
box.
both. Yep,
3-1.
you passed.
Okay, right there. Flinch marker.
-1,
3-3.
even.
Right there.
Even.
Oh, you're -1.
It doesn't matter.
I'm not the one that's
Taking the test.
Taking the test.
Ah, I see. 4-3 becomes 3-3. I'm
Now the
good.
next one, you're
Next one.
-1.
You're
minus
-1.
6-3 becomes
Jeez.
5-3.
He's hot.
Okay.
I'm hot.
Yes, he is. Artillery on artillery.
+1
You're
to
plus
you.
1.
+1 to me. Who?
You needed
1-1 becomes 2-1.
Down here. Let's see. He shoots. The large doesn't count.
Right.
It's a -1 because you're skirmisher, but it's a plus
Plus
one,
one
so
because
it's
I'm
an
a
even
lead
roll. So it's a net,
with him on as a friend.
net -1 to you, Kev.
Ooh.
You didn't like
I'll
that.
take a casualty.
Down here, that should be a +2 to you.
Yeah, you're both.
7,
Yeah,
5.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was an
Yep.
even roll. That's that.
That's that. Now my 3 R's.
All right.
Take the,
So, Mike, you brought on 2 more reserve units.
Yes, I did.
What did we bring on?
Over here on my right is Ponsonby with 2 elite heavy dragoons.
the heavy brigade. Oh dear.
Over here in my center is Scarrett with 4 elite line.
Ooh.
The foot guards.
Yes. Well, that's what I've got there is Foot Guard and some Highlanders.
He's using them. I don't know that they're. I think just elite line is what they
Now
are.
the foot guards were in Spain, as were the Fusiliers,
And
as were
Kevin,
the Scots.
and Kevin, last turn you put an ADC over here to activate one of your
The
cavalry.
cavalry,
Okay.
brigade. The
All right.
dragoons, huh?
All right. Well, we'll get back to you here in just a couple of minutes.
This guy can only go back to him, right?
Yes.
And he can go down to him.
Yes.
So on turn 3, the French finally have killed their first British unit,
How many French units has he killed?
and Victor is moving up the reserve brigade that was on the hill, and he's also moving down his cavalry brigade to counter the British cavalry deployed from reserve on the left.
Mon Dieu.
So, Kevin, how's it going for the French?
We haven't lost yet. You know, Vittoria is supposed to be a great Wellington victory.
Well, it looks like you finally took your first lost battalion there,
I did. The lost battalion is
Yeah.
now lost. Yes.
and you've got, what, 5 guys in the front line here that are dinged now?
Yes, I do.
So you've got guys that are getting fragile.
Yes, I do.
And Mike, you lost a battalion last
Yes,
turn.
I did, right?
Yeah,
Right there.
and you've got,
got
1, 2, 3,
several.
4
I've got 3 in the front line that are
dinged.
dinged, and,
And the heavy
I've
cavalry.
got 2 in the back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's still pretty even.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to break for lunch and then we'll be right back. So the French have just finished, and another British unit is rattled off the table. So far the Brits have lost 2 units, the French have lost 1. The French have moved up their reserve brigade up to the road, and the British are about ready to get started with some prep firing here. All right, so the British just got finished, and they destroyed 3 more French units. Kevin, how many units have you lost now?
1, 2, 3, 4.
4?
4.
And Mike, I only see 2 units.
Yep, only 2.
Right. So we're now getting ready to go into the French phase.
The French phase. Yes.
Yes. So
All right. Well, let's start down here. These guys gonna try to put a shell on your heavy horse over there.
that's an even roll.
The range, I don't think it's still not 8.
It's over 8.
It's
Yeah.
still over 8.
Yeah, it's an even roll.
So it's a long range, but it's against
Against cavalry.
cavalry, so it's an even roll. It's an
Even
even roll.
roll for the aide de camp.
Oh yeah, you got a
Because I just threw him there.
And that's
Yeah.
8-sider.
8-sider.
5. Nope.
Needed a 1.
All right. What's next? Let's shoot these guys again. No. Yes,
You can shoot the guys on the very end, your skirmishers.
Yes, I know.
That would be a +1 to you, Mike.
I'm
the
a
way
lead.
down
He's
here.
not, but I'm skirmisher.
Yes, it's an even roll.
Even roll on the end of the infantry unit there. Jesus, he just is not rolling like Mike. He's rolling like you. It's not fair.
All right, how about the next one? You got you want to gang those guys up on the infantry there?
Yes, mine as well.
Okay,
So
that's
that's
a -1.
-1. And this is for flinch.
Yes.
That's good.
Jesus.
Nothing in the middle there because they're all dinged all the way down to the very end here, Kev.
Boy, they are.
All the way down to there.
Yeah, but is anyone within?
And nobody's within. Well, he may be able to shoot at him. Just,
Now, see, this would be a partial.
yeah.
because
Yeah, I'm just beyond.
all right,
Just beyond.
but this would be a partial, Kevin, because this guy can't see him. Do you see that? You're blocked,
He
A large
can't
partial
see him.
skirmisher, my chances of hitting that are slim and none.
but it's Mike.
Yeah, it is Mike.
So it's -1 because he's skirmish. A +1 he's skirmish. Another +1 because he's large.
Yep.
And
so it's a
another
+2.
One because it's partial.
Oh yeah, right. +3.
three.
Go ahead and roll. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Could have been a contender.
Could have been.
Now your
Alright.
artillery, if anything.
Now my artillery. I haven't fired this artillery, have I?
No, you haven't.
I haven't fired any of it except
No,
that artillery.
right.
Yeah, okay. Well, I know it's a waste of time.
So what you want to do is measure the distance between the front rank of the guard
Yeah.
or the elites.
They're within 8 now.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
I've got other troops
He's
here that-
he's too close to you still. His elites are still too close. See, you're
I'm
within 3, and they're so. How about
they're
the?
beyond
They're
3?
beyond 4, yeah.
Yeah, so he's still
I'm
too.
close to them.
You're too close. He's too close to your guys to shoot at him.
Okay.
How about the guys in the
Well,
rank
we
behind?
definitely have to look at the restrictions you want to put in, because if that's too close for me to accurately shoot at, then having less than a huge
No,
hole
we're
is
not
too-
talking. We're not talking about that. We're talking about. This
I
is very
understand.
clear
I'm
that.
not arguing with the rule. I'm
So,
saying
so lay out. How close is the second rank though? Is the second rank even, or that's 3?
That's 3.
So it's still too close. Because you have to be. He has to be close. You have to, if your infantry were back, Kevin, you'd have no problem at all.
my
But your
one,
infantry's
2, 3 is 4.
4.
back.
So and you have to fire at a target that's beyond 4 if you're shooting overhead.
Oh, beyond 4 of this.
Because
Oh,
your
I see what you're
distance,
saying. I see what you're
because
saying.
your distance there, and I'm
I
close
see
to
what you're
him.
saying.
Yeah, it's just your infantry's blocking that. Now you can fire it as artillery if you want to.
That might be what I have to do.
You might be able to fire at these guys over here.
I doubt it, because they are
4 as well.
4, and
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
they're too close.
So you fired his guns. This is all prep shooting anyways.
This will have to be the guns. Well, let's spread it out. Let's do 1-on-1 and 1-on-1.
+1 and +1. Yeah.
+1.
Are there anything but ones on that red die? Ah, there's finally, yes.
You take a flinch. And then you want to fire it as artillery now that it's unlimbered.
Well, we've got several to shoot at.
Yeah. Can I shoot at that?
Do your measurements.
I'm
2.5, 3.
2.5 or so for me.
Talking him?
Yeah.
I think you're more than 2.5.
You call it, Mike.
Yeah.
If it's equal, then I would say
I
yeah.
would say equal to 2.5. And to your rear is just beyond 2.5.
So yes or no?
I'm too close to them.
Okay.
To begin with, from here to there,
Here-
I'm too close.
Here's the target.
No, that's the target.
Here's
Right,
the target.
But from there to my front,
To your front or to your unit?
my front of my unit, right? And then I have to go from
Is
the
it
rear
to
of
the
my
front
unit.
of his unit? Because your front of your unit's beyond 3.
That's 2.5 to there.
and
this
his
is
front is, to
almost-
his unit,
almost
is
3.
over 3. To the
So
front of
it's
his
too-
units.
You're saying it's too close.
Yes.
Okay, so fire his gun. Go ahead and roll for that.
But
It's a
which
+1.
gun? He's got 2
The
guns.
horse
Oh,
gun.
the horse gun. It's worth more. And it fails more. So
But it'll pass. Okay, so now it is the French movement
Yes.
yes,
to be followed by French fire.
the guns in the broken brigade, or the demoralized brigade.
So you lost 1 artillery battery on the hill
Yes.
when these 2 batteries opened up on it.
Yeah.
And then you lost 2 more regiments, and that caused that brigade to become demoralized.
Yeah.
So you've lost 1 battery and 6 battalions so far,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 battalions.
and the British have lost 5 foot battalions and 1
Yeah.
heavy dragoon.
6 battalions.
So it's
All right.
it's still pretty close.
The difference is a gun.
All right, so now Mike's finishing up his turn, and then it'll be your turn, Kevin.
Very good.
All right, so the French have fired, and two more units of Brits have evaporated. You've got the
On to Westminster.
a British elite brigade moving up here. You've got a fresh line brigade of only 2 battalions moving up with support from some lights. And way out there, you've got heavy dragoons facing off against a Leger unit in square. Kevin's done a very good job of forming up on the hill his reserves in preparation for the final push. And down here, there are 3 elite Hussar regiments trying to go through the mud to get towards 3 dragoon regiments in waiting.
Yeah.
So it continues.
Try to rally here.
That's half the army.
Well, over half. So
Oh, I have to get over half.
You'll finish your turn, but you don't know what you can do with Mike here.
That's true.
So
Try to rally with a general.
during the British fire phase, unfortunately, 3 more French battalions
Oh,
routed.
they weren't all battalions.
No, well, there's 3 battalions. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. 2 battalions of infantry. One of them's got a flinch marker still on it. Is that a flinch marker down there, or is that a casualty?
Where?
Flinch.
Here? That's a flinch.
So,
Casualty
but the
there.
flinch that should come
That
up.
should come up.
Oh, yeah.
But then right there on the hill, you lost your 2nd battery.
Yep.
So, so you are on the cusp because you've lost half of your.
Half your army, literally.
Yeah. And Mike, you've lost what, around 10?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wow. Well, Kevin will do
All right.
something to you this turn.
Well, are we up to my turn?
Yep, up for
Sure.
your turn.
All my artillery. Well,
So-
no, I saw
so-
50%
Now, I was
of
almost ready to kill.
50% of my artillery.
So,
is gone.
Kevin, we're calling the game.
Yes.
We're calling it a British victory because you're at 45% casualties and Mike's around 30%.
We can stand it.
Actually, I thought you were at 50%. You needed to be at 51% to break.
He was. He
I-
thought
I'm
he
not
was at.
broken.
He thought he
No,
was at
that's-
4. He thought he was at 14, but he's only at 13.
But we
Yeah,
would,
but
we
what's his
would,
break point?
28 is his
Oh,
main,
28,
so
okay.
14's 50.
so we would be abandoning the field at this point.
Yeah, you absolutely would. You'd be fighting a withdrawal. You'd have your cavalry kind of keep the British at bay while everyone else packed up and
But
headed out.
Victor did better than Victor did.
So, what did you think of the game, Kevin?
I really like these rules. I think this battle looks like a battle ought to look. It played well. We had wondered how it would work with a scenario where everybody's not marching onto the table. I like it. It works fine. We need some home rules to iron out a couple of. They're not
Minor
rough
issues.
spots. They're just things he doesn't address in the rules.
He doesn't, and to try to make sure you don't have any gamey stuff going on.
Yeah, at least nothing gamey that I can't use.
Now, what we didn't have in this game were a lot of charges. We had an opportunity down here, but Mike decided to throw the light dragoons into the muddy field, and your dragoons just sat up there and just laughed at him trying to come through the muddy field. But you did have, and I didn't catch it on video, Mike, but we did have the heavy dragoons make a charge on some skirmishers that ran away.
Yep.
And then you made a successful charge with one of your line regiments on the
Yes, I did.
square that
I
the
did.
exactly you did. You took that, and then you put an elite brigade or elite regiment against a wounded French battalion, which in turn bounced the elite guy.
Yeah, you failed to shoot
He failed.
and hurt me.
Right.
So there was a round of combat with no good results either way. So I had to back off.
Right.
We showed him the door.
So,
Yeah, and in turn I said, okay, fine, we'll shoot you to death.
so Mike,
I did.
what's your impressions of today's game?
I liked the game, not just because I was winning.
That always helps.
That's the main reason.
Not the only reason.
It killed your battery. He killed your battery, not mine.
Whatever you do, don't take my guys today.
No, I'm not. I pulled him out of there. No.
There are a few things as we are playing and we're adjusting and trying changes in some of the rules that we think play better. The jury's still out on a couple of them, but for the most part, I think it plays somewhat better and is cleaner with some of the stuff that we're trying.
Yeah, one of the things that it gets me about the game is it only takes 2 hits to destroy a unit, and you go, oh, that's, you know, when we played Batil Empire, basically you could take anywhere from 4 to 8 hits.
I like this.
No,
better.
well, but I think if you want to try to get a battle and not just a core battle, like this was basically larger than a normal core, but I'm thinking like if you want to do Waterloo, maybe Wagram or Leipzig are too
Waterloo's
big.
perfect.
Waterloo you could do, and if we
Who
had
fought
like
all day and did more than one attack? Nobody. That's it.
so.
First
Anyway,
score,
Yeah,
one
units-
charge.
units
Was out of it for the rest of the day.
typically take 2 hits and they're gone.
Yep.
but
Now,
that's why
normally in
you.
a point-driven game, you would not see the Royal Horse Artillery ever because they're so expensive.
Well,
Horse artillery is.
Well, that's true. Doing scenarios allows you to see
You
stuff.
see
can-
stuff
there
you
were
will
guards.
not see.
I mean, they were Spanish Royal Guard, but they were guard.
Still
units.
guard. You just don't see
They
stuff
weren't rated
because,
as guard, though. They were rated
just because of the
elite.
points.
well, fellas, thank you very much for duking it out. Thank you.
Well,
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
All right, and we miss you, Mr. Bill. Talk to you later. Bye bye.